What's up, everyone? Welcome to Betamax. My name is Fidel, and joining me, as always, is Eddie and Birdie. Dude, you've been making me laugh on these intros lately. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Oh, what the hell? My mic just fucking... Dude,
out of it,
I'm kind of out of it. I was just...
So am I.
Had a pretty
Man,
pretty
you
busy
guys are
day.
Weak.
Let's your bitch ass up, homie.
Okay.
So, so what's new, guys? What you been up to?
Nothing.
Nah. We had a pretty busy day today.
Yeah.
We visited the new Rhino Records location. What'd you think of it?
I thought the inside was cool, but it's like weird. Like the location they chose. It's like they're really depending on the people that know where to go to get there.
You think so?
You know what I mean? Because at their original location, it was like
They
there
could
was a
rely
comic
on
book
like
shop down the
yeah.
street. There was like a theater next door. You know what I mean? And now it's like next to a fucking massage place.
like you don't think they'll have as much, I guess, walk-in traffic
Yeah.
of just people walking by and be like, oh, this is interesting, you know?
Yeah. I just thought it was a weird choice.
I see what you mean. I can see that. Because it's kind of not even on a main street either.
Yeah.
It's kind of off, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's near the mall, but yeah, I see what you mean when like probably dependent on people who
Yeah.
know.
Because at their Claremont location, you could just go to Claremont and walk around and be like, oh, there's a record store.
Yeah.
But at this location, it's like you have to be running an errand in order to run into a place like that. You know?
Yeah.
Because there's like laundromats around there's the Target down the street,
Yeah.
groceries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weird choice. But, I mean, I hope it works out. I'd hate to find out that Rhino went out of business.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty cool record store.
Yeah. They had some good stuff too. I got a couple things. I got J Dilla's Donuts on vinyl, finally. Been wanting to get that for a while. What about you, Eddie? What'd you think of it?
It was cool. I didn't look at the records. 'Cause I'm not a nerd. I don't collect them. But
Thanks.
no, they had a cool movie selection.
Yeah,
Like,
they did.
They had a lot more than what I thought they were gonna have. Which they didn't have a lot of, but what they did have, they were packing some heat, dude.
It did feel like they had less than when they were at Video Paradiso, though.
Yeah, but it was very condensed. Like it was very.
I would say they had the same amount.
You
I don't
think so?
Because
don't
I
think
used
so.
to go to Video Paradiso a lot more often than you guys.
But I went like on one of their last days, and they had a lot.
I went.
Oh yeah, you were
I
with
used
me.
to live there. I used to go a lot.
I know, but I'm saying I went on one of
Yeah,
their
but
last
you're
days.
wrong is what I'm saying.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, so they had a pretty cool movie selection.
Damn, we started off the day loving each other, and right now we're just saying fuck you to each other.
We just hang out too much, dude.
Man, sick of you guys.
Hey, hurry up. I'm trying to go hang out with my real friends.
Damn. Well, I enjoyed it. Thanks for asking.
It's cool. I just feel like... Why am I the one stopping you guys? I'm usually the one instigating. No, but I agree with Brady. It is a weird location, and I don't think they're going to get as much foot traffic. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they could, like, I guess, promote more online, I guess.
Yeah, which is probably their goal.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everybody orders everything online now, so.
I did see, like, recently they had somebody, like, steal. Yeah. Like, somebody ran
You know
out
what's
the door.
funny? I had a record on my hand, and I was like, man, I could easily run to my car right now. Where at Claremont, like, it'd be like, I'd have to run to the parking garage.
Yeah.
Or go look for my car.
Yeah.
But you can literally park in front of the entrance.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it was you.
It could have been.
Anyways.
It was my turn, brother.
Are you stopping this again?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm. So what do you guys think of that new Bad Bunny album?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Don't bring that fucker up, dude.
Yeah? So guess what I'm getting into again?
Bad Bunny.
Wrestling.
Ugh.
How many times is this now for me?
I don't know.
Where I'm always like, I stopped watching it. I don't watch it anymore.
Uh,
But now I'm just like, I'm watching it again.
We just don't take you serious anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, you'll be back.
What do you mean I'll be back?
You'll be back to hating it.
Probably.
I give it a month and then.
Probably.
And 2 months later, you'll go back to loving
Well,
it.
the reason I wanted to start watching it again is because I'm going to WrestleMania in April. So I don't want to feel like out of the loop.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so. But I have been enjoying it, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes this time for me to hate it again. But
Wrestling's
anyways.
fake.
I'm going to fuck you up, dude.
You guys, there's so much sexual tension between you guys.
I know, and we already fucked, so I don't know.
Stop trying to get us to fuck in front of you, dude.
Listen, just let me record it, dude.
No, I'm not down anymore.
Anymore.
Anyways, the topic of today's episode.
Wait, aren't you gonna ask us anything else?
What have you guys been up to?
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Man, fuck you.
Okay.
The topic of today's episode.
Okay, go ahead.
Dude, this fucking shit's so chaotic right now.
We're just not in the mood.
Hurry
I
up.
am, though. Come on, let's do this. I'm
All
so
right.
wide
I'm
awake.
not even supposed to be here today.
Get it? Clerks reference?
What is that?
Hurry up, dude.
You guys excited for Clerks 3?
No. Now hurry up.
So, dude, I'm not even like drunk and I'm acting like this.
I think me and you're just tired.
I think we're just tired.
I'm not tired.
Cause you can do shit today.
Yeah, you just sleep.
Yeah, I did.
What?
I had to get up, dude.
Nah, he was our on-set photographer today.
It's true.
Oh yeah, he was there, huh?
All right. Anyways, today's topic is shit. Right. Yeah.
Fidel has lung cancer.
Damn. Man, one of you guys should host one of these days.
What is this? What is the subject of this?
Work stories.
All right, we're funny,
Funny,
scary,
crazy,
weird.
yeah, anything
just interesting.
interesting
work stories, I
that
guess.
happened at work. Yeah. The way this topic came about is because me and Eddie were talking about like crazy stories from working in the medical field. Because he works in the medical field currently, and I did for 6 years. Damn. So we were kind of exchanging some stories, and we were just like, oh, let's make an episode about it. And it just evolved into like just any type of work and like stories, basically. But and we did post about anybody submitting stories, and I got a few I'm gonna read at the end. I will say, if you message me saying you have crazy stories but didn't follow up, I hate you. I'm just kidding. I hate you. But
So you had people message you?
yeah,
And tell you, hey, I got a story.
Yeah, I had a few people saying like, "Oh yeah, I got some crazy stories," but then they never said anything. Like, they never
funny.
follow up. Yeah, but we did get a few that I'm gonna read off at the end. But right now, I want to ask Birdie.
Yeah, I'll go first because you guys probably have more exciting stories than I do.
Okay.
Because I've had pretty normal jobs compared to you guys.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Um,
Are you referring to the time I was a fluffer?
you mean we were coworkers?
I'm telling you, just fuck, dude.
I'm scared. Anyways, I don't really have like any exciting or scary or funny stories. Because like I said, I've had pretty normal jobs compared to you guys. The only job where I was like interacting with the public a lot, to the point where something could happen, that was gnarly, was when I was working the front desk at a hotel in Ontario. But that's pretty much it. I have like one maybe gnarly story. It's pretty like that job like was a chill job though. I really liked working at the hotel. Yeah.
How long were you there?
Like 2-3 years maybe, around there. And then I ended up working for Alexis after that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then after that I got laid off, and then I got that forklift job, and now I'm doing what I'm doing right now. But yeah, at that hotel, it was pretty cool. It was pretty chill. That was like one of the only jobs I can think back on it. I could be like, man, I really enjoyed working there. Just because of that, like the interaction with people and like running into like different situations all the time. Like it always kept you on your feet. Not literally though, but one of the times, cause there was always like some fucking gnarly, like one time cause the owners of the hotel, they own like that hotel and then another one in Redlands, and like the owners were super like, you guys have to make sure you keep our image up, you know, we want people to be like, it's a nice place here, you know, even though it wasn't. It's like $70-$80 a room, so it's like nobody nice is gonna stay at a $80 a night room.
Do you know what the star rating was?
I don't.
No.
It wasn't that good though. I remember when I used to work there, I used to always be on the computer looking at reviews. Everybody talks shit about that place. I found roaches. I found a condom. I hear people fucking next door. Like,
my bad.
like shit like that. And I've heard like few gnarly stories from like other coworkers that were there longer than me. Like there was a chick that committed suicide there, and like one of the employees there ended up quitting because she felt like she could have stopped her, because I guess when the chick came in, like she noticed like her like that she was like not okay. Like she was like, you know, like she was gonna do something bad, you know.
Yeah.
And she just like she's just having a bad day. But when that happened, she was like, oh man, I could have talked to her, like you've been like, hey, are you okay? Like, you want to talk to me? Yeah. But she ended up quitting after she found out that girl killed herself, which is like gnarly, because like I would always go in and out of these rooms, and like dude, like she hung herself in the closet, and those closets are like, they're like right here to me.
Yeah. Like
they're tiny. So I remember being like, how the fuck did she hang herself? Like, did she? Like she had forced herself like down, you know what I mean? Like that was gnarly. And then there was like another guy that they prevented from killing himself, because he checked in, and then like someone actually spoke up like, hey, this guy's acting weird, like he's like, you know, got some weird behavior. And one of the maintenance managers like you know, knocked on his door, and when he opened the door, he had like pills like lined up, so he can like chug them and just fucking like, you know, R.I.P. himself. But yeah, crazy shit like that too. You can meet all kinds of people. But I think the gnarliest thing that ever happened to me there was when one time I was working there, and like this like tall white guy like comes in, and he checks in alone, and he like checks into a room, and he's like, you know, like, yeah, I'm just looking for a room for the night. I'm really tired. I've been driving all night. And we're like, yeah, like we got a room available. Like, don't trip. He's like this older white dude. He's probably like in his late 50s, super tall. And like we get him in a room, and then like he goes in there, and then like maybe like a half hour later, like this young lady like comes in and like asks for him like by his name. And then we call him up, and they're like, hey, there's like a young lady up here like asking for you, you know. And he was like, oh yeah, let her in. She's a friend of mine. And we were like, yeah, a friend of yours, okay. Yeah, because we can get in trouble for being like, is this like, you know, what's going on, you know? We can get in trouble for shit like that. So if they say like, let him in, that's my friend, then we have to check them in too. So it's like we can't be nosy like that. Even though it's like, you know, obvious. But yeah, like we were just like, yeah, just, you know, here's the key, go, he's waiting for you. And then like sometime later, like not even an hour later, like way down, it was like almost at the end of my shift, I get a call from the room he's in, and it's like the young lady, and she like calls the front desk, and I answer, and I'm like hey, blah blah blah, what's going on? And then she's like oh, this motherfucker's like beating my ass, and like he's like fucking me up, like, and then I hear the struggle over the phone, and the phone hangs up. And then I've already gone through like a bunch of situations, and when you're training there, they train you on how to handle situations like that. So like when she hung up, I tried calling back, but there's no answer. There's no answer. So it was just me and like another dude, and so I hung up the phone. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna grab the security guard. Security guard was there. I'm gonna go to the room. Do me a favor, just call the police department. Just tell them to send it black and white. That's what you're supposed to do on something like that. Like when you feel like someone's in danger, you don't dial 911. You call the police department directly, and you ask them to send it black and white over to investigate. So I had my coworker do that, and he got on the phone. He called the police department, and I grabbed the security guard, who was like this Russian dude, but he was like a super funny Russian dude. His name, I forgot his name. His name was Pavel. But yeah, I took him. I was like, hey, come with me. Like, he was like super gnarly security guard dude, because he carried a fucking handgun with him.
Oh shit,
yeah,
for real?
He wasn't supposed to. Even like he told me, he was like, I'm not supposed to have this, but fuck yeah, like shit gets down, like I'm gonna fucking defend myself.
Fuck.
I was like, and he was Russian, so I was like, those guys are gnarly. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I take him with me, and like he's like, oh, don't trip, I got my gun, so if anything pops up, and I was like, calm down, dude. It's probably just like a couple, just it's probably just a domestic dispute or something.
Yeah.
And we got there, and then like we could hear them struggling, and then like I had him knock on the door, and I was like, letting myself know, and I was like, hey, it's the front desk, like, you gotta open the door, And then like they open the door, but they force it open, and then when they open it, like they both like end up on the floor in front of us because they're fucking wrestling with each other and beating each other's ass. And he's like holding on to her shirt, and she's like trying to run away. And like I'm not touching in either of them. So I tell Pavel, I'm like, dude, handle that shit. I'm not touching these guys. Fuck that. So like he starts like wailing on the guy to try to get him to let go of her, because like it just looks like a guy trying to force himself on a girl, And yeah, like he starts wailing on him, like he finally lets her go, and like she just fucking takes off, like she just runs, like no shoes, like barely a shirt on and some short shorts, and she just takes off running. And I'm just like, okay, like, and then he's left behind, and then he finally tells us like what happened, and he was like, oh, that was a hooker, like I bought her for the night, but she tried fucking drugging me and like getting me to go to bed so she can steal all my money and all my shit. And then like Pavel flashes a flash, because there was no light in there, and he flashes a flashlight in the room. Dude, it looks like they were fucking partying all night in there. Like the mattress was like flipped upside down, like the TV was broken, there was like a hole in the wall, like it was fucking gnarly, dude. And he told us that. I was like, yeah, it was a hooker, she was trying to drug me, and like I caught her trying to put fucking some powder in my drink.
Yeah.
And I guess like they just got in an argument, and they just started beating each other's asses and shit. But I mean, the cops came. They ended up arresting him, because like he even admitted to them like that he solicited a prostitute.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're going to jail if you say that.
Yeah, of course.
Because he thought it was like, yeah, but she stole my stuff. It's like, no, we used to buy a hooker, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like they took him, and like we had to fucking like charge him like fucking like $2,000 for the room or something. And like we charged his credit card and shit, and it went through. So we're just like, fuck it, we'll just not use that room for like the rest of the week until we fix it up. And like, yeah. And then I guess like the cop came back like the next day saying like, oh, we caught the girl, she was like hiding like in some bushes like down the street. And like he told us like, oh, she's a regular, like she works around here like a lot. And like the cop ended up telling us that I guess that area at the moment has like a really bad human trafficking issue. There's like a lot of prostitution, a lot of like fucked up shit going on.
Yeah.
Which was like noticeable, especially when you work the job that I did.
Yeah.
It's like you see shit happen, but you can't say anything because it's not your job. Even though I mean it might be the right thing to do, but it's like still I got bills to pay. I have rent, shit like that. So, but I mean, yeah, that's like the gnarliest thing that probably happened.
Dude, that was fucking gnarly.
Yeah, it's probably like the gnarliest shit that happened to me there. Other than that, oh, you know what? Like some old lady like OD'd. Well, she didn't OD. She just tripped. She just did some shit that made her like she just couldn't handle it. I think it was like PCP, like Angel Dust or something. Because that like it made her like hallucinate. Like it made her fucking like think everyone was a bad guy, and it got her like super paranoid. And yeah, that was like another one that I had to like fucking grab the security guard and go to the room, because like she was just yelling over the phone. And then like, when we opened the door, she was on the ground yelling like, "Oh, everyone's gonna kill me!" And she just had like it was an old lady, dude. It was just like late 50s, and she was fucking on some hardcore drugs. She just had like a bra on. And it was like not appealing at all, you know. And then like we looked at the guy that she came in with, and he was just like acting like this is like an everyday occurrence for him. He was like, "Yeah, she's tripping." Yeah, it was like, "Is she okay?" I was like, I don't know. It's like, "Are you not worried about this lady?" I just want to get some sleep, man. Like,
Oh my god,
we
dude.
were like, Jesus. We had to call an ambulance, and the ambulance took her away.
Yeah.
They ended up telling us too. It was like, yeah, she just took something she couldn't handle. So, obviously he did.
Yeah.
He could handle it, but like she smoked it, and she just like, I'm dying. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like the gnarliest things. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Like I said, it's like, it wasn't like I wasn't working at the Hampton, you know, or the fucking
Yeah.
the Hilton. You know?
Yeah.
I was working at some fucking cheap ass hotel like in Ontario. But,
Yeah.
and I got away with a lot of shit there too, which is
Damn.
pretty gnarly. I used to do a lot of fucking gnarly shit there myself, but I'm not gonna talk about that here.
Why not?
Cause. But yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking gnarly, man. And you thought you didn't have anything?
Like, yeah, I mean, even then, compared to what you guys are about to say, that's probably just like, pff, it ain't shit. So, I'll let you guys go next.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Man, shut up, dude. What's up? You want to fight, dude? Let's go outside.
I'm horny, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I feel like drunk for some reason.
I got the giggles too, dude.
Yeah, man.
You guys are just tired.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm
Yeah.
gonna sleep so fucking good. Well, I have some pretty interesting stories from when I worked in.
Let's go like back and forth. Like you share one, I share.
No, hey, let me do it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't have really like a lot that are like, I guess, lengthy. But one that always pops in my head is the story I'm about to tell is from a job I used to work. I worked there for 6 years. It was non-emergency medical transportation. Basically, what an ambulance does minus the emergency part. So what I drove was like an ambulance, but it didn't have sirens or like flashing lights or anything like that. And I wasn't allowed to administer medicine, but I did have to be certified in basic first aid and CPR, stuff like that. So what I used to do was, because I had been there for a while already, they would have me and my partner do a lot of behavioral health hospital transfers. So from one behavioral health hospital to another behavioral health hospital. And for those who don't know, behavioral health can be like basically the medical term for like mental hospital, basically. But so we did a lot of like hospital transfers for those. And I remember one, and it makes me laugh. We got called to Arrowhead Hospital. I don't know if I should say the hospital's names that I'm going to. No, I'm not going to. I already said Arrowhead, but I'm not going to say whatever.
You don't work there.
Arrowhead's
dude?
in
It's cool.
Colton, right?
Yeah.
I remember that one.
So we're picking up somebody out of that hospital, and we're supposed to take him to another behavioral health hospital. I can't remember what city, but I remember getting there to the room, and there was like 4 security guards there, and they were like, "Oh, are you guys here to pick up this patient?" And we're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, just go ahead and check in with the nurse, get the paperwork straightened out, and we'll load him up on the gurney for you guys." And I look in the room, like I take a glance in the room, it's like a small Middle Eastern guy, like really small.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like me and my partner, we're big guys, you know? So in my head, I'm like, why do they have like these security guards? Like we can do it. Like,
You're like, man, I'll fuck him up.
So it comes time to get him transferred from his bed to the gurney. And dude, this guy put up a fight. He was like yelling shit out, like, "No, like, I have to die. Like, I can't be here. I have to die. I was sent to finish 9/11. Like, I have to do it. Like, you got to let me out of here." And I was just like, what the fuck? And dude, like, it took these 4 security guards to like pick him up, hold him down on our gurney while we strapped him in. and like his family was there, and like they had to make sure they basically had a sign to say it was okay for us to basically handle him like that. So I remember they were holding him down, and then we had to strap him into the gurney, and he was like thrashing around like he. So we're not supposed to tighten that shit, you know, the wrist straps and the ankle straps, but we did put him pretty tight. But he was like thrashing around a lot, and then so we got him in the van. And I was always the one driving, but the whole fucking car ride, he was just saying all this shit about how he was sent to destroy America, that we can't let him live because if he stays living, he's gonna end up destroying the country, and like he doesn't want to do it, but he's ordered to do it. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? This is wild. And I remember getting to the new hospital. And I was the one to pull the gurney out. And because he was like thrashing around so much, he was kind of like slid down on it. So his feet were kind of hanging off a little bit. But there wasn't enough room to like get in the back and pull him up on the gurney. So we had to take him out to pull him up to situate him. So when I was grabbing it, his feet were on my chest. And so, like I say, he's a small guy. I lift up to pull out the gurney to get him out. And as I'm coming out like halfway, he fucking kicks me in the chest, like with both his feet. And he's like, let me die. And he's like kicking me, and I'm just like, oh shit. Like I started laughing, and then like I get him down, and he fucking gets me in the chin, like with a kick. And we ended up just taking him inside and like left him there. But I just thought it was, I had never experienced somebody like that. Like, cause usually when we do hospital transfers are pretty like out of it, cause they got him like sedated, yeah. But this one, this guy, like, I guess everything they were giving him wasn't really doing anything to him.
Oh, wow.
It was kind of scary though. It was like he was a little convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like.
You think he accomplished his mission?
Yeah, because I mean, look at country's falling apart, dude.
Turns out.
That man's name was Donald Trump. So what you got? What you got, Eddie?
All right, I'll tell a funny one.
All right.
No, tell whatever you want.
All right, so I deal with dementia residents, and I don't want to glorify this, but I feel because like I'm gonna sound like a piece of shit because I'm gonna laugh. But like I want to show people like the shit that caregivers deal with. Like, I'm just in the kitchen and I deal with it. I can't imagine, like how much shit the caregivers go through. Yeah. They do not... I get paid more than them, and I should not be getting paid more than them. And it just... I want to show how fucking terrible dementia is and the side that no one ever talks about. Everyone always talks about the memory loss and all the sad shit. Nobody talks about the nasty, gross stuff that comes along with them, where they're just shitting everywhere, peeing everywhere, being fucking perverted, not having any restraints like with themselves. Yeah. When it comes to shit like that. So the first story I want to talk about is one of my first times dealing with a dead body. So at least once a month somebody dies. It happens all the time. As soon as someone dies, someone else comes in, they get replaced. So this was a few years ago, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And somebody's mom ended up passing away. Their daughter came, and sometimes it's unexpected. It happens just out of the blue. Sometimes, most of the time, you kind of know. So they usually know once a resident goes on morphine, then it's like, okay, they have like a day or two before they completely are, they expire. And I think this was like one of those random ones. So the daughter comes, she's in there with the body, saying her goodbyes, whatever. The way these like rooms work, some of the beds belong to the building. Sometimes when they go to hospice, they're hospice beds. They belong to a company, whatever the hospice company is. And they'll come in, usually that same day, to pick up that bed. So this particular day, they came to pick up the bed while the body was still on the bed.
Oh.
And the maintenance guy comes in the kitchen. He's like, Eddie, can you help me? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what's up? He's like, we need to like move a bed. I'm like, oh, okay, no big deal. So I get in the room and there's a fucking dead body on the bed. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, I didn't know there was a body on there. And the daughter's like, oh, what's going on? And like, oh, they're here to pick up the bed, but we'll just tell them to come back. She's like, oh, no, I don't want to like cause any trouble. Like, and they're like, no, like your mom's on the fucking bed. It's like, no, we can put her on the floor. I'm like,
oh my god.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is your fucking mom. She's like, no, like, I don't want problems. Like, I just want to give them the bed and like have them go on their way and this and that. I'm like, what do you want us to do? And like, let's just pick up the body and put it on the floor.
Oh my god, dude.
So me and the maintenance guy and like 2 other people, like we were each grabbing like a blanket underneath her to carry her. So I'm just looking at this fucking dead body. By this time, like I've seen a couple dead bodies, so it's not really a big deal anymore. And I didn't really get attached to this particular lady. She wasn't there for that long, so I didn't really feel anything. But it was fucking weird, like picking up a fucking dead body and putting it on the ground just so they can take the fucking bed. And the fucking daughter was so cool about it. She's like, she's not even really my mom. That's just a shell of my mom. Like, my mom's in heaven now. Like, just saying the funniest, like, weird shit.
Dude.
Yeah, I was like, okay, man. I thought that shit was weird. And it's like, never in my life did I think I was going to move a dead body. Like, I'm a cook, dude. Like, I don't get paid for that shit. So.
Man, that lady took it pretty well.
Yeah.
I think, so you know what? Now that I think about it, I think she might have had a chance to say her goodbyes. Maybe that's why, like, it wasn't like a quick thing.
Yeah.
Because usually when families are like, oh, hey, your parents have like, your mom or dad have like a couple days to live, like usually they handle it pretty well because they get to, you know, say their goodbyes. Sometimes they're devastated, but she handled it super well, and I'm just like, damn, dude. Like, so yeah, we pick up this old lady body, put it on the floor. I'm like, fuck, dude. And after that, I went back and like made sandwiches or something.
Yeah, you had mentioned like how the caregivers don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, like working in the medical, even in like the field I was working in, I came to the realization that
you weren't getting paid enough, or what?
Anybody in the medical field,
no, they don't. They get the
they're
shit
severely
underpaid.
Unless you're a
underpaid.
doctor.
Unless you're a doctor or paramedic.
If you're a doctor, like, dude,
But even
fucking doctors rolling up to the hospital in like Rolls Royce, Bentleys, and shit.
But even I feel like most doctors don't even deal with like the gritty stuff. Like I think
it's always nurses.
Yeah, it's nurses and the people that are lower than them, I guess.
The doctor is basically getting paid to make the decisions.
Yeah.
But no, because I remember when I started working at that company, I was just like, maybe I'll be an EMT. You know, fuck it, go to school for that and do that shit. But the company had EMTs, and I remember talking to them, and they're like, and I told them what I was planning on doing, and they're like, okay, is that where you're gonna stop, or do you want to be like an ER medic or a fire medic or a paramedic, like, or are you just going for EMT? And I was like, oh, just going for EMT. And they're like, oh, it's not worth it. Like, if you're EMT is a stepping stone, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And then he asked me, I remember him asking me how much I got paid, and I told him, and he only got paid maybe like $2 more, and he was an EMT.
Oh wow.
He's all, but I'm going to school to be a paramedic, so that's where like you could earn.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like I had no idea. Like, I had no idea that it was like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think starting pay for like caregivers is like minimum wage.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why would anyone want to do that? They get punched, they get kicked, they get spit at, they have to deal with shit, puke, piss, everything. And that's why, like, I still want to have an episode where, like, I want to either bring in a caregiver or, like, one of my old cook friends so they could share their stories, too.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, some of the shit that I'm going to tell you, like, later, like, it's so unbelievable, dude. It gets bad.
Yeah, I've had to clean up, like, throw up and shit from the back of our van before. Like, I had to take it to, like, a car wash, power wash it out, you know. It's pretty bad. Let's see, what's another crazy one I have? Crazy. I don't know. I guess like more notable stories for me is like I did a lot of long drives. Like like really long drives. Like I remember I actually remember picking up someone out of a nursing home in Pomona, and we're gonna take them to a nursing home in Yuma, Arizona. And
You were gonna drive from Pomona to Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah, that was our only
Do they pay you guys like?
hourly.
But there's no like mileage or
No.
per diem or anything like that.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Telling you, dude, the healthcare business sucks, dude.
So we were picking them up. I remember, I believe at the time the place we were picking him up at, Nate Dogg, he was like sick and he was staying at that like rehab center where
In
we were
Pomona?
picking him up. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where he died?
I think so. Cause I remember I was like, I thought I saw him doing rehab, and I talked.
He's all, every day.
And one of the nurses was like, "Yeah, that's him, but he's staying under like a pseudonym, so like people don't know."
It's all Snake Dog.
It's all Snoop Dogg.
Very undercover.
No, but yeah, like I remember picking up the person from Pomona and then driving all the way to Yuma.
Wait, you did the drive?
Yeah. Because the guy I was partnered with at the time, he wasn't allowed to drive, so I did the drive.
Oh wow. Wait, why wasn't he allowed?
I
Yeah, like
don't
traffic
know.
tickets. Or...
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Or I think he was still on probation or something. But yeah, I remember 4 hours there, 4 hours back. That was the only thing we did. But I used to get assigned like those long drives because I had been there for a while at that point.
So you guys had a human being in the back?
Yeah.
Can't imagine being on a gurney for 4 hours.
Oh, dude, they were bedridden.
Yeah.
They were basically being transferred going home. I guess they had gotten hurt.
Oh, in California,
Yeah.
but they lived in Arizona.
Yeah,
So you were taking them to go die.
basically.
Wow. Was this an old person?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
It was a lot of his old people.
Yeah.
Like I remember
You
taking.
delivered a few old people to my old job.
Yeah. Like I remember one time we had to take somebody to Calexico. You know where that's at?
California, Mexico, right?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like on the border.
Isn't it by Brawley or
Brawley?
yeah?
What's Brawley? I don't know.
Mexicali.
That's a Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z character.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But I remember we were like the house, I guess the address we were given was a house literally down the street from the border, like the line to get into Mexico. And when we got to the house, the lady was like, how much would it be to just take them across the border? Like there's a house that we have right there across the border. Just take them, drop them off. And we're like, oh no, we can't do that. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't?
No, like we can't do that. Like,
Why not?
because the time that it's going to take to stay in line to get across the border, and we're taking a person.
So you couldn't hit up like dispatch and
No.
be like, yo.
They would say absolutely not. We could have gotten fired. But she was like, I'll give you guys $100 each if you do it for me. So it's literally right on the other side of the border. And then like I look at my partner and he was like, let's do it. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm not down to risk the job for just $100. Nah. So I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, we can't do that. So I was like, we gotta take him there anyway. Like, and we're gonna have trouble. So well, what if we put the seats down in the back of our van and just lay him in the back of the van? And we're like, okay. I mean, as long as we're leaving him at the address we were given, then okay. So that's what we did. Put the seats down in the van, put him in the back. We left, and then as we left, they left, and we're taking him. But he was like,
This was a Mexican family, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The lady still gave us $50 each.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I got tipped a lot at that job.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
I used to get tipped a lot at the hotel. Like
Yeah.
$1.
Fucking loser. What else you got?
All right.
What else you got?
What else you got?
I'll talk about this resident we got in. So this guy, there was a point where my old job, they were so desperate to get people in because we had like a low census, and usually it all depends on the building. They kind of pick and choose who they want to, bring in, 'Cause sometimes you get like really bad apples. And in this case, it was like the worst case scenario. But they were fucking desperate, and they don't care about the safety of people there. They just want money. Yeah. And I wasn't there for this guy's first day, but apparently he came in handcuffs in the back of a cop car.
Oh shit!
And he was old, but he was in pretty good shape for his age. I guess he showed up and he was on a fuckload of meds. He was a fucking crazy guy, dude. Total live wire. He would just be attacking residents, punching caregivers, doing all kinds of shit that, you know, that they have to deal with. And one day, it was pretty late in the day. All the managers had gone home. I was there. I think I was the only one in the kitchen. I was just like finishing up, like cleaning some dishes or something, like excited to go home. And a caregiver walks in. He's like, Eddie, like, we need you out here right now. I'm like, fuck, okay. The residents are finishing up dinner. So immediately in my head, I'm like, fuck, someone's choking. Like, I'm going to need to fucking do CPR or something. So I run out there, and I'm like, there's all these residents are standing up. There's like commotion. I'm just looking around like, who the fuck is choking? I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then I see that resident standing up, and he's just kicking the shit out of the other residents. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? I'm not trained for this. I don't know what the fuck to do. So like I start walking towards him, and he sees me like walking towards him, and he looks straight at me, and like he does like this weird ninja stance, and he starts acting like a ninja. I'm like, it threw me off so much. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Later on, I found out that he's an actual black belt. Like that's what he did when he was younger. He had a bunch of dojos, and he would teach karate to kids. So that whole, like, what I thought was funny, he was like legitimately like, that was him like posing like ready to fight.
Yeah, so he was like, come at me, young grasshopper.
Yeah. And I'm just over here like laughing, what the fuck, you silly guy. And what do you call it? So he sees me, he starts doing that, and this other resident like tries to go behind him to like grab him. He turns around and just drop kicks him, dude. I'm like, fuck, all right. So I'm like, all right, I gotta do it. I go up behind him. I'm so scared because they're old, like they're fragile. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking break them, dude. So I grab him like in a headlock from behind, and he starts like shaking around. He's a pretty tall guy. He's taller than me, and I'm like, fuck, all right. So I just cobra clutch him. I wrap around him. I just knock him to the ground, dude. I'm just fucking choking this old guy out. And he's like wiggling a lot. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna choke him a little harder. So I start like putting a lot of pressure on him, and I'm just like scared that I'm not doing enough pressure, but I'm also scared that I'm doing too much. Like, I don't want to fucking kill him. I don't want to break a bone. Like, I don't want him to break a bone. And so I'm just like fucking like just choking him, and like his legs are just like kicking around. And I look at one of the caregivers. I'm like, dude, please sit on his legs. Like, he's like really aggravating me now, dude. So one of them like just grabs his legs, and she's like sits on him, and then he's like, all right, let me go. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let you go. By this point, they had already called the cops, and he's like, dude, I have a heart condition. You gotta let me go. I'm gonna die. Like, he just told me like all these things, like excuses to let him go. I'm like, I'm not gonna let you go, dude. You're not gonna die. And he's like, all right. He's like, I'm calm now. Like, he just keeps like trying to get out of it. I'm like, no, you're not calm. He's like, dude, I think you like.
He's always, is that Michael Jackson over there?
It was kind of funny, dude. But yeah, like I'm choking this old guy out, and then the cops took forever. Like, I had him choked out for like maybe like 20-25 minutes before the cops actually showed up. And by then, like, he was already kind of like chill. I mean, I still have my fucking arm around his neck, but he's calm. And the cops came like, all right, you can leave him alone now. And he's like, all right, yeah, he choked me out. You better arrest him. He's trying to make it about me. And the cops just start laughing, like, no. And like, they grab him, and they do the thing. They question him. This guy's like terrified of cops, because every time he would do something bad, like the cops would come and he would immediately calm down.
Yeah. So
like, I think he was pretty well aware of what he was doing, and I think he like saw chances, like, oh, like, I can take advantage of these old folks because there's no one here to stop me.
Yeah.
And as soon as the cops come, total 180. He's like, he's like, I have a heart condition. He just starts making excuses. Yeah. And Last I heard, he did eventually get 86 out of there, but there's so many laws. Like, you can't just kick someone out on bad behavior, even though they wanted him gone so much. Like, you had to find a place for him to go before you can kick him out. So it's like this weird thing where we kind of had, like, we were forced to deal with him for so many months. And that wasn't the first time that was the only time I had to deal with him, like, personally. But there's a million times where he was just beating the crap out of everyone there. The other managers, like, I think the ED at the time, which is, like, the main boss of that building, she got drop kicked by him too.
Yeah.
And she was like a big lady, and she was off work for a couple of days because of that. Like, I don't think she broke anything, but she got screwed up. And yeah, that was one time I choked out a senior citizen.
Damn, that's what's up. Did you guys the place was just like a rehab center, right?
It was just a memory care facility. Yeah, that's the name.
It's a pretty nice place.
It was beautiful. But it just when you walk in there, everything looks so nice. Like, the dining room set up so nice. We had a huge garden in the back. All these places look nice. But when you actually work there, you get to see that none of them get the actual care they need. There's no way. Like, you have, like, a few caregivers per a certain amount of residents. So you have, like, maybe one girl. And I say girl because, like, it's mostly females that are caregivers. I think there's too many problems when there's guys working there that have to, shower the ladies and doing all that. It's just easier if it's girls. And there's like, maybe one girl for, like, 8 residents, and it's like, you can't shower them, care for them, like, making sure they get the exact care they need all within your shift for that many residents. Like, realistically, they all need their own personal caregiver, but there's not enough workers, there's not enough pay for that kind of thing. So unless you're rich, the place I work at now is a lot higher level. Like, they're just, it's a richer area, and some of the residents have their own personal caregiver aside from, like, the one they're assigned. So there's someone always with them, but that's, like, coming out of their family's pockets. That's what I mean. Like, you kind of have to be rich to get the proper care.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like, that was like that's the shit they deal with, man. And I'm sure there's, like, way worse residents out there than him. But
some of the shit that I would see, a lot of times it was just like us just chilling somewhere waiting for a call, and we would just see something happening. Especially when we had a stage in San Bernardino. So whenever they would have a stage, it would basically tell us, like, oh, stay nearby, like, the main hospital in this city, and if a call comes in, just, you'll do it, basically.
mm-hmm.
So sometimes we would chill, like, by I don't know if you know the hospital, St. Bernardine's Medical Center in San Bernardino, off Waterman.
No idea.
It's a pretty rough area.
It's San Bernardino.
But I saw a lot of crazy shit in that ER parking lot. A lot of fights. I remember seeing, because the ambulance sometimes would come down from Big Bear, to bring somebody down, like, to transfer them to that hospital or whatever. And you could tell because those ambulances were, like, fucking raised up and, like, fucking 4x4 tires and all that shit. Like, really deep treaded tires, And one time, I'm all laughing. It's fucked up. They were bringing somebody out of the back of the ambulance on the gurney. Protocol was always, from my understanding, 2 guys always. 2 people. Has to be hands-on when bringing somebody out. Somebody to pull the gurney out. Somebody to stand on the side to catch the legs to bring it down. And to make sure it's going to hook on the back of the van so it doesn't just come rolling out. This EMT or paramedic, I don't know what he was by himself. And he starts pulling the gurney out.
Oh, God.
And I'm guessing he was trying to rely on the hook on the back of the van to hook the gurney so it doesn't come out all the way. Didn't happen.
Oh, so he ended up...
So we're in our van, and I'm watching him, and you just see the gurney come out and bah! Straight to the ground with somebody on it. and he like stands up and looks around all scared.
Oh my god, dude.
And then like me and my partner are just like looking at him, and we lock eyes, and he's like he does like a oh shit face, like
hey, shh.
but then like his partner comes out, and then they lift the gurney up and they just wheel the person in. I was like, dude, if somebody would have seen that, those guys would have been in deep shit.
Yeah.
But that hospital, there was always some shit going down, man. Like I remember seeing this man and a woman fighting, like physically fighting in the parking lot, and I think like the guy was like bleeding from his eye or something. But they was like just going at it. I was like, dude, that hospital was fucking wild.
Jeez.
But my stories more are along the lines of like just like wild things as far as like how much I had to lift. Like I remember taking somebody to their house in LA, in the hills in LA, and their front door was like on the side of a hill that had steps going up to it. There was no way to drive up there.
What's the farthest you've been?
Well, from Pomona to Yuma, from San Diego to Mammoth Lakes. I did get, I remember one time they called me and they're like, hey, in a couple days we're going to have a run going to Seattle.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, do you want it? And I was like, hell yeah. Because they were going to have me beat.
Wait, you would look forward to these long runs?
I liked them.
Why?
I don't know.
You get a free trip to Seattle, dude.
But, okay, so what they did was... what they told me was like, okay, you're going to be clocked in the entire time. But you're going to stay out there. They're going to give us money for the hotel.
Oh, so they pay for your...
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, not like money for food, though, but they would offer to pay for the hotel. And I was like, all right. And then they asked me, like, oh, like, do you want to go with, like, your normal partner? Or do you have somebody you want to go to with instead? And I was like, no, my partner's fine.
Let me get my homie.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, my partner's fine. So we got assigned to it. But the call ended up getting canceled. So we ended up not doing it. But I liked doing those long runs. Especially the ones up in the mountains.
That sounds peaceful, dude.
Yeah, like going up to Mammoth. We went up to Mammoth a lot. And I remember one time I went up there and it was snowing and it was so fucking cold. But it was tight. I liked it. But so the LA one, it was no way to drive up there, just steps going up to the front door. I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna do this? So this was actually my first time I was gonna experience carrying somebody upstairs. So we did it the wrong way. Looking back at it, we did it the wrong way. We left them on the gurney and carried the gurney with the person on it up the steps.
What would be the right way?
Try to get I forgot what they're called, but they're kind of like this fabric with handles.
Oh.
Get it put under the person.
A stretcher?
No, not a stretcher. Like almost like a blanket, but like it's really thick and it has handles on it. And like so you just lift it up like that and take them up the steps like that. Or you get like a blanket or a sheet from the family, put them under them and carry them up. That way. Yeah. And luckily the person wasn't that heavy, so but we fucking did it on the whole gurney. All the way up the step, dude. That was rough. And then so we would always get those calls, or we would also always get what are called bariatrics, which is like extremely overweight people. And it would take like 2 teams to do it. And I actually have a funny story about one. We were transferring them from our gurney. We had like a specialized gurney for them, from our gurney to their bed at their house. And my partner and I were on the side pulling from the gurney to the bed. So we had like one leg up on the bed, grab the sheet, and we go to pull. And I fart so loud. Like I pull and I'm just like, and like my partner starts laughing, but the other team, like, I guess, I don't know if they didn't hear it or they just like weren't amused.
Yeah.
But my partner started laughing and he's like, dude, you fucking farted? I was like, hey, man, like, using a lot of force. But do you have any more, like, medical ones?
I have 2 more that I want to share.
Go ahead.
I want to try to knock them out pretty quickly. One of them is gross, and the other one's just fucking disturbing. Okay.
I think I know which one the disturbing is.
So I'll tell you the gross one really quick. I'll make it quick. One of the old folks walks in the kitchen. We had eventually we got a padlock on the door. Not a padlock, a little like a handle that has like a passcode that you type in order to go in. And that's all it usually is in most stores, but for whatever reason, when they designed that kitchen, they didn't put one on the main door that goes to the dining room. So sometimes the residents would just walk in the kitchen, and it would always be frustrating because it's so hard to redirect them sometimes. This particular guy walked in. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna be a hard one to get out. And he starts talking about, I need to use the restroom. I'm like, well, this is the kitchen. You can't. Like, I'll take you. He's like, no, I need to go now. And I'm like, no, okay. I was like, it's a freaking kitchen. Like, you can't come in here. Like, I'll take you to your restroom. He's not listening. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. I need to go grab one of the caregivers, see if they can try to convince him to go out. I grabbed like two of them. They come in the kitchen. They start trying to like convince him. And you kind of have to sometimes like be a little pushy with them. So they start like kind of like grabbing him and trying to like kind of push him out of the kitchen a little bit. He's not having it. He grabs onto the sink where the dishwasher is, and he's just holding on for dear life. And this guy is a big dude. Like there's no way these girls are gonna be able to get him out. And in the kitchen, it was only me and my cook Alex, one of my old cooks, and we're both just like looking at them, like deal with him, like man, like they need to get him out. Like we're trying to hurry up and do dinner, and he's just fucking holding on. They're like, we don't know what to do. Like, they're like, okay, we're gonna go get like the main nurse. So they go out, and as soon as they walk out, he starts pulling his pants down. I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, I can't remember his freaking name, but I was just like, don't do that. He's like, no, I told you I need to use the restroom. He starts pulling his pants down. I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to see no old dick, you know? Like, so I turn around. I'm looking at my friend Alex, like, dude, what do we do? I'm like, wait for the fucking nurse. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I can't grab him. Like, his dick is out, you know? Like, he's gonna fucking piss on me or something. He starts peeing. I could just hear the water. And I'm like, fuck. All right. The nurse walks in. And he's like, oh, shit. So she starts, like, trying to pull his pants up, and starts, like, kind of trying to yank him out. But he's holding on to that fucking sink like it fucking... Yeah. Like, he just does not want to get out. He starts taking a shit.
Oh, dude.
Standing straight up. I didn't even know that was possible. He's, like, completely vertical, and he just starts fucking shitting. And I, unfortunately, have that image burned in my head, dude. And I'm just looking, I'm just like, fuck, dude. And I just look at my friend Alex, and we're both, like, turned around, looking at the wall. And he's like, dude, Eddie, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, let's just fucking go outside. Like, let's just fucking... Because the smell was starting to hit us. It was fucking bad, dude. And we have, like, those non-slip mats with the little holes in them. Oh. Yeah. So, we're just chilling outside, like, waiting for them to finally get rid of him. And one of the girls like, okay, we finally got him out. And we're like, fuck, all right, like, we need to find one of the housekeepers to, like, come and clean it up. So we go in there, and I'm thinking there's just gonna be, like, shit and piss on the ground, like, on the mat. We go in there, and his shoes are still there, his pants are there, covered in shit, completely. This is like fucking like rice pudding, like more on the pudding side. Like it was bad, dude.
Yeah.
And
sounds like a party.
Dude, it smelled so fucking bad. I'm like, out of all places, like, he had to take a shit is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, dude, that's literally the kind of shit we had to deal with. And it was fucking gross, dude. Like I didn't have an appetite for like a couple days. Like, it just, that smell just lingered. Like,
yeah.
I poured a ton of bleach on that spot. Like, yeah. All right, but let's move on to the disturbing part. Yeah.
Man, oh man, that's gross.
Are you, okay, the disturbing one. If it's the story I'm thinking of, are you allowed to talk about it?
Probably not, but I don't work there anymore. Fuck it. So, when this story happened, it was, I think, 3 years ago, and it was on the fucking. It just happened to be the hottest day of that year in Riverside. It was like 116 or something. It was fucking miserable. And this kind of leads me back to what I said earlier about like how people in these homes don't get the care they need because they're not supervised like they should. Like, there's no way you can supervise that many residents with, like, you know what I mean, like one person having to look after so many. So this lady, when it's that hot outside, there's rules they have to follow. Like, no one's allowed outside. Keep them hydrated. Pass out water. Don't even ask them if they're thirsty. Just give them a cup of water in their hand, and they'll drink it. I don't know how these girls sleep at night that are responsible for what happened. For what happened, because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if that was me.
Yeah. And
most of the time, you get caregivers that are fucking. They do it because they love helping people out. Cause nobody is a caregiver for the money, because you don't fucking make good money being a caregiver.
Yeah.
There's no way like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I doing it because I make good money, you know. Even if you're there, like I've known caregivers that have been in one building for like 11, 12 years, and they barely make. You know, I showed up brand new to that building. I started making immediately more than what they make, even though they've been there for so long. It's fucking depressing. So they do it because they love helping the elderly. And there's some other caregivers that it's just a paycheck to them. They don't care. They half-ass their jobs.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck. I remember this day because I was working, and it was fucking hot. We had 2 dining rooms. One that was connected to the main kitchen where I worked, and then one that was separate. It was another little building next to the main building, and that was where the more where the residents that needed more help were. That's where they slept and everything. Then that's the ones that needed like the complete 24-hour surveillance. Yeah. Because they were completely like, they were wanderers. They tried to escape. Like they were like the really severe ones with severe dementia.
Yeah.
And like I said, during hot days like that, they were not allowed to go outside. And I remember I was transferring food over there, and I walked in, and I noticed the back doors were open, and I'm like, hey, are you guys allowed to have the doors open? And a lot of these places, they have stupid rules, like stupid laws, where it's like you can't lock the doors to keep residents from going outside. I'm like, in these cases, I think you should be able to.
Yeah.
Because like, there's no reason for a resident, anybody to be outside when it's like that hot, you know?
Yeah.
And especially like they're so far gone with dementia that they don't know that it's that hot. They don't know that, hey, if I go out there, I'm gonna get really dehydrated. I'm gonna, you know. And I told him like, and it's like, yeah, like we can't lock it. But I'm like, well, I was like, all right, it's hot. Like I would just fucking lock it. I don't care. Like I don't care if I got in trouble, but I would not leave anyone out there. And I went home, and I guess a bunch of shit happened that day. So during this whole time, while they were passing out their dinner, putting everyone to bed, they forgot someone outside. Fuck. And this poor lady, I guess she wandered outside, ended up tripping on something. She fell on the concrete in the middle of the fucking afternoon. Not afternoon, but just in the middle of the heat. And in broad daylight, she fell down. She must have broken something. Something happened where she just couldn't get up. So this lady burned to death in the hottest day possible, just laying there on hot concrete. The sun's just baking her. They're supposed to do checks every hour or whatever. They have a certain time limit. They have to check the residents, making sure they're where they're at, making sure they're safe, checking their rooms. They obviously didn't do that because they would have noticed that she was missing. They should have gone outside. Like the garden for the smaller building wasn't even that large. Like you can just poke your head out there, look around for like 5 seconds, and be like, okay, it's clear, I'm good. They obviously didn't fucking do that because she was out there. I believe they like estimated it to be like 4 or 5 hours in the sun, baking. And by the time they found her, her skin was just like beef jerky. It was gray, and I guess there were bugs coming out of her mouth, her eyes. Like she was there for a while. And I wasn't there for this, but I guess when they finally notified the family, like, imagine that was your mom, like, knowing that your mom lived. She was an African American. She lived through the fucking most horrible time period, like, to be black, like, slavery, everything. She lived through all that. She saw, like, all these progressive times, everything. She ended up getting dementia. She moved to this home where we were supposed to keep her safe. We were supposed to look after her. We were supposed to take care of them, make their journey, their last days pleasant, calming, comforting. And they fucked up. She ended up baking in the sun. And I'm just like, that's such a horrible way. She came this far only to die because she fell down and nobody was there to try to like fucking save her. And it became such a big deal because it was. So I just remember my boss telling me that, like, that the family was like, how can you guys do this to my mom? Like, she did not deserve to die like this.
Yeah.
Crying. And I guess the word got out. I don't know how it works, how, like, cops showed up, they did their investigations and all that. I don't know what happened to those 2 girls that were in charge of that building, the ones that were supposed to be looking after them that day. I have no idea what happened to them. And eventually the word got out because this was like months later after that. Like, as soon as I got in the building, they're like, okay, Eddie, we need to talk to you. And, like, if for whatever reason, like, newspapers, like, reporters want to talk to you, you don't say anything, don't say this, that, like, just, like, they gave me, like, a piece of paper, like, of what to say, like, and it was just, like, oh, like, it was just redirecting them to, like, the person to contact for them to answer that. And I never got hit up. I don't think anyone did, but it was, apparently it was in the newspaper and all that. Like, it was, like, the word got out, the story leaked, and yeah, dude, it became this big thing. I'm pretty sure they got sued. They probably got paid millions for that.
Probably.
I'm sure they had to. And
was that company like a big major company?
Yeah, they had buildings all over America.
Oh, okay. Well, they can afford it then.
Yeah, definitely. But it was just crazy, dude, because, like, I've never heard of, like, that was probably, like, the worst thing I've heard. I've heard other stories. I heard maybe one that was a lot worse that I wouldn't want to tell, just because I feel like it would trigger a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, I might tell you guys after this. But yeah, that was like a gnarly fucking story. And I remember these girls were just so fucking clueless. I guess when they found the body, they didn't even react how a fucking normal person would react. Like, call the cops immediately. Like, they FaceTimed, like, the nurse with the pointing at the dead body. Imagine you're, like, at home, like, chilling, like, you're just falling asleep, and you're like, oh, one of my coworkers is FaceTiming me, and you fucking answer, and it's like a dead body on the.
Oh my god,
like,
dude!
They did everything that you weren't supposed to do. They did everything completely wrong. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know how these fucking girls sleep at night knowing that they murdered someone. Like, they might have not been directly responsible, but they could have avoided
negligence,
that from happening.
homie.
Yeah, they could have avoided that from happening.
Yeah, that sounds like those kind of people shouldn't be working in that field.
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, it had to be them too, because I got to I saw them earlier and I was like, why is that fucking door open? Like, that's just asking for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, sometimes they're there for just a quick paycheck. They don't give a fuck. And it's sad because like I'm not saying that like they shouldn't care about the job, but it's like these girls really don't get paid enough. Like, at least have some incentive. Like, start them off like fucking at least like $5 above minimum wage. Anything to like get them to be like, even if I'm not passionate about this, like, I'm getting paid pretty good enough for where I don't want to fuck up because I'm getting paid well. Like, yeah. I need this job. But when, like I said, when you're getting paid minimum wage, you just don't care.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that job for minimum wage, dude.
No.
I don't care. I would, even if, like, we'll pay you $40 an hour. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't deal with shit and puke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything that requires like a unique skill for minimum wage. whether it
Mm-mm.
be like some gnarly thing or like even like driving a forklift, dude. Because I remember when I stopped working at that forklift place in Corona.
Yeah.
I got like a job interview at some warehouse like in Pomona, like a few miles away from my mom's house, and it was like a position for like a forklift driver, but you also had to be good with computers and shit. And I remember I got there, and the guy like at the end of the interview, the guy was like, "All right, like you definitely got the job." And I remember thinking like, "Fuck yeah." And then he was like, well, let's talk about the pay. And I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I'll start you off at minimum wage. And I remember being like, so you want me to like drive a forklift and then like use the computers and like do all kinds of shit, basically run this whole department on minimum wage? I told him like straight up, and he was like, just for now. And I remember being like, okay. I meant okay, like. Okay, this is the end of this conversation. And I'm leaving, you know?
Yeah.
I remember I was okay. And then I remember I got up from my chair and he was like, he just looked at me like, where are you going? And I was like, oh, I have like another interview. And he was like, okay, I'll call you so I can let you know what time to come in. Being like, okay. And I walked away and he called me like the following Monday. I did not answer that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, fuck you. Come on. Be a little more respectful of like people out there like that have like skills like that, you know?
My very when I first started working in the healthcare, I started off as a dishwasher. It was just supposed to be like a summertime job, like a part time, and I got paid like $1.25 above minimum wage. And I remember like when I found that out, I'm like, wait, I get paid more than those girls. Like I'm in charge of washing dishes, they're in charge of humans, and they don't get paid as much as me. Like that's how shitty that business is, dude. Like
that's gnarly, dude.
Severely underpaid.
Yeah, it's
severely
insane.
underpaid.
Yeah.
I do want to do a couple rapid fire stories that I
Mhm.
just remembered that from previous jobs, mostly me getting hurt. So my first official like paycheck job that I had was Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
On my very first day, within the first hour of me being there, someone spilled a soda in the lobby. So I'm like, oh, get the new guy to clean it. I didn't have the proper shoes on yet. It was regular
Yeah, like
shoes.
sneakers on, huh?
Yeah. So I go out there with the mop, some rags. I literally did one of those fucking cartoon slips, dude.
Like
Where both, like, I did the whole, like, my feet kind of, like, running, and then they both went straight up in the air, and I smacked the back of my head on the ground.
oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was so bad, I had two customers help me up and sat me down. And I remember everything because I remember the customer to my left, he was like, are you okay? And I look at him and I go, what? And he goes, are you okay? And I go, what? And he's like, oh, shit. And then the manager comes out, and then the manager, like, grabs me and is like, oh, let's go to the back. And we start walking, and then I turn to the customer and I go, I'm all right. And then we go to the back, and then the manager was just like, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I was like, no, I think I'm okay. And he's like, are you sure? I was like, I'll call an ambulance if you need an ambulance. And I was like, no, you know what? I'll take myself to the hospital. Like, and he's like, I'm not going to let you leave. Like, I was like, oh no, I'm not driving. Cause I didn't have a car yet. And I was like, no, I'm not driving. I got dropped off. I could just get picked up and get taken to the hospital, make sure I'm fine. And he's like, okay, well, let me know. So I remember calling my dad, and I was like, this is when me and my dad, I had just started talking to my dad again, like in a friendly basis. So I call him, I'm like, Appa, like, I think I need to go to the hospital. Like, can you pick me up from work? Oh, I can't right now. I'm busy. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I can't. I'm sorry.
Was he at work?
No.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know?
I later on found out what he was doing. So I'll tell you right now. So I was like, you really can't? He's like, no, I can't. Like, I'm tied up right now. I'm busy. I can't go. I'm like, okay, I'll figure something out. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. I think I need to go to the hospital. That's why I'm calling you.
Yeah.
He's like, well, let me know. I'm like, okay. I end up calling Cisco. Cisco's like, yeah, I'll pick you up. Let me get some burritos. So him and our friend Kenny show up. high as fuck. So fucking high. And then they take me and we leave. I think I got them like some burritos. We leave. And this goes like, oh, well, or Kenny, he was the one driving. He's like, what hospital do you want to go to? And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling a little better. Like, I do have a lump on the back of my head, but maybe I'll take some Tylenol. And if I'm still feeling bad, like at the end of the night, like then I'll go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. He's like, want to just come chill at my house? I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So we went and they were like just smoking weed and I was drinking. I ended up not going to the hospital. But I later on found out that the reason my dad couldn't come pick me up and take me to the hospital was because I think he was signing up my stepbrother for baseball. So he couldn't leave.
That's important.
More important taking your son to the hospital, dude?
I don't have a son.
Yeah, so I was like, well, whatever, fuck it. But yeah, another time I got hurt at a job was when I was working for that, what was it? Vending machine company. I was about to say its name. It's out of business. It's called AVT. I was.
You know how many companies are there called AVT?
Yeah, Automated Vending Technologies. So
I was trying to help you out. You just kind of shot yourself in the foot for some reason.
They fucking went bankrupt. They're out of business. So, but real quick, this will be the last one I say. I had a service vending machine at the train station in Santa Ana, and so I went servicing the machine, collecting the money, making sure everything's working properly, writing down what I needed to get to restock it. So I go get everything, and then I load it up, and I was like, oh shit, I'm 2 rock stars short. Like, this machine is supposed to get, like, I think it was like 6 rock stars, and I only brought 4. So I need to go back to my truck and get 2. So I go back to the truck, load like all the empty crates I had, the dolly, and I just grabbed the 2, and I was gonna walk out of the back of the truck, but I was still holding the 2 cans of Rockstar, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I like step out and just fall, like out from the back of the truck onto the cement, holding 2 Rockstars, and they fucking explode.
Oh my god!
And it was really early in the morning. The only person that saw me was a security guard. He's like, "You all right?" And I was like, and he runs over. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just got the wind knocked out of me." Because I didn't try to break my fall because I was holding fucking 2 Rockstar.
Yeah, they were way more important than your life.
Yeah, apparently. But he's like, "You good? You need me to call somebody?" I'm like, "No, I'm all right." Because I was still new on the job. I was like, "No, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'll call Taylor because I rip my pants.
But I got the Rockstar, loaded them up, and I went on with my day.
Oh, wow.
All right, so before I wrap it up, I want to read off a couple stories that we got. Because I asked the audience if anybody had any wild or crazy stories. And I got one. Let's see. I got one from a coworker. Well, not necessarily a coworker, just somebody that I'm friends with that works in the warehouse. So there was a bomb threat to FedEx.
Oh, word? When?
Long time ago, years ago.
Oh.
Years ago. So what had happened was, I guess this guy was there to complain. Yeah?
Go ahead.
No, hey, what's up?
Go ahead.
I hate y'all. So there was a guy. What's so funny, dude?
Just go ahead.
Fuck y'all.
I'm not even saying anything.
Not either.
All right. So this submission was somebody was complaining about.
I didn't do anything. Stop thinking of me like that. Go ahead.
This guy was complaining about not getting his package or something on time, so he went to complain to FedEx. And I guess they got it. She says, we got a call in local. That's like the area she worked. And it was FedEx security. And they told us that we had a threat on our station. So we were all confused. And then I got the call from the customer that threatened us. And he was super pissed and started threatening me and the driver who had the package. few hours go by, and the driver came back with his package. So I had to be escorted by the police to go deliver it. And he ended up being put on the TSA watch list for 7 years because of it.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
So that guy just did that for...
He was complaining because he wasn't getting his package on time or something. But the package was still out on a truck and wasn't able to get delivered because I guess he wasn't home or something.
Yeah.
Because he was at fucking FedEx complaining about it. So he had to wait till the driver got back so he can get his package. But because of he threatened, like saying like, oh, there's a bomb or whatever.
Yeah.
Which ended up not being true. He got fucking put on TSA.
What a dimwit.
Yeah. Yup. Next story. Okay, this one, this person asked to stay anonymous because it's involving a case that they're
Oh,
going
really?
through.
What's their name?
Birdie.
Shut up.
No, okay, so this person used to work for Geek Squad. And they, this isn't part of the story they sent me, but like it's context for the story. They were doing a service call at someone's home. And so while they were in the back of their truck getting materials, they put, my client's neighbor's truck rolled down its driveway and made me get pinned between our work van and the truck. And they didn't realize that they were being pinned by a vehicle.
Who didn't?
The person that submitted the story.
Oh, wow.
At first...
They didn't realize that there was like...
Well, at first I didn't feel any pain. I thought, maybe a garbage bin flew my direction and hit me since it was windy. When I looked to my left, I noticed the back of the truck and thought, holy shit, I'm stuck. I can't feel my leg. I'm in so much pain, and I'm yelling for someone to come save me from what felt like forever. The neighbor finally came out, and they moved the truck. Luckily, no broken bones.
What happened to him?
They were just...
fucking scary, dude.
Yeah, like, they ended up being out of work for a while.
No, I mean, well, like, he was in so much pain. No broken bones. What happened?
I'm telling you.
Oh. I'm like, what happened to this guy?
It's a female.
I didn't ask that.
Dude, Birdie should have shot this one down, dude. All right.
She ended up being out of work for a while because of it. No broken bones, just kind of scraped up, bruised up, and not working there anymore. So.
Oh, wow.
But it's like an ongoing case.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's scary,
a little quicker
dude.
next time.
That was. What do you mean a little quicker?
I'm just kidding.
I fucking hate. Why do we get him on here, dude?
kidding.
Man, fuck this guy,
I'm
dude.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I didn't want Birdie on this one. Just letting you guys know. Birdie wasn't even supposed to be here today.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
All right, so this next one was submitted by Kayla Green, friend of the podcast.
Oh.
I think I told you about this one.
Yeah.
So while she worked for the DA, she was accused of fucking one of the DDAs, which is the deputy district attorney. They help out the district attorney. And waxing someone in the 7th floor conference room.
What?
Waxing someone?
All
You
right.
get fired for waxing?
She was accused of doing that. So I asked her, like, what was the outcome? And she said, they called me into the head of HR, and after they couldn't prove anything, I was basically bullied until I quit.
Oh. Pretty sure she can sue for that.
Probably, yeah.
Wrongful termination, you know?
Well, she quit.
Hey, do you not listen, dude?
She's the one who broke her bones, right?
All right, last submission comes. Dude, I'm fucking delirious. Comes from Jeff Aldape, I think that's how you say his name. Frosky.
Okay.
All right. So he put, at my job at the time, he worked for Penthouse Day Club. Someone drunk got into their car in the parking lot at the end of the night and just started running people over on their way out. It was during Pride weekend.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Damn.
And then what the fuck happened? Oh, okay. And then he said, also on a different year, same job, pop singer Sean Kingston. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Sean Kingston went up to the Game, the rapper, to say hi, and Game's entourage took his chains and punked him.
Oh my gosh.
So random, dude.
Yeah. And then he said he has like a bunch of stories, but he's one of the people that didn't follow up on that. So. But those are the two that he did.
He'll have you up next week. All right, here are the stories.
Yeah. But yeah, then we got other people saying they got crazy stories and they never sent me anything. Especially medical field stories, like people that work in the medical field. Dude. Yeah,
I got a ton that I just don't have time to.
Yeah.
That's
but yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, that was us sharing our stories. I feel like Birdie's was like pretty gnarly.
No, your guys' stories are pretty fucking.
I feel like mine were just like funny and gross. Eddie's were pretty gruesome.
Yeah. Wait till I tell you the one.
Damn. I'm going to sleep.
It's bad, dude.
But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. This was a kind of a long one, but I feel like it's interesting to share these stories. I do want to mention I'm trying to get more motivated to use my video camera for more stuff. I've been getting like these urges to just walk around and just film random shit. I think I'm gonna start doing that.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should just film like everyone being together.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of filming random shit.
Like chilling.
Yeah.
Kind of like home movie style.
Yeah, you know, when like Sydney and like all those people come over here, like just record that shit, dude.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Don't even turn the mic on. Just fucking, you know.
I'm gonna forget to turn it on anyway.
And then just do whatever you want on your.
Yeah.
You know.
But I did get that new mic for it because I do want to record like bands, but more along the lines of like in small places, like smaller bands, you know. Not like go to like a big venue and be like all in the fucking back, you know.
Yeah, if you get motivated enough, like look into like editing softwares.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I want to.
And not even like there's also like sub programs that go along with editing softwares that like offer different like shit makes your shit all nuanced as fuck and shit. Because when I first started fucking with like editing software, dude, like there's so much shit out there you can fuck with. It's so gnarly. But the king of all that editing software, like the motherfucker that's the shit you want to fuck with.
Yeah.
Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bomb shit, dude.
Yeah. You have that, right?
Yeah.
Have you used it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've dabbled in
There's even like a lot of Hollywood movies that get edited on Final Cut Pro. Like Sicario. Sicario was edited with
Really?
Yeah, that was Final Cut Pro.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has everything you need. It's very dense.
Yeah.
So it's intimidating when you first go on it, but once you start getting the hang of it, and you can YouTube anything, dude. Like, just look up Final Cut Pro and then whatever you need to do, and
yeah, because I want to get more into that. I also am trying to do a thing where I just watch a random movie instead of just binging something that I've already seen before.
I still don't understand how you guys do that.
Well,
I do it as like a background noise type of thing.
But I can't do that.
Like binge a show.
Yeah.
Well,
like I walked in today and you were watching like That 70s Show and I'm like, I would never be able to do this. Like,
yeah, lately I've been putting it on as just like a background noise.
Like I hardly do that. Like I'll do that with like a show where it's just like it's like a 15-minute per episode, and I can just dig through it. You know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But I'm not like I know how to make time. Like I know how to prioritize. So it's like I make room for shit like that. You know. But lately, I've just been, like, rewatching old shit so I can get, like, my fucking attention span back. I lost that shit, dude.
Have you been trying... Sorry to cut you off. Have you been trying to, like, do anything creative lately? I noticed you're bringing your camera around a lot more.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to use, like, SLR cameras, like, film cameras.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the word that I think is, like, ruining that specific art form.
Film cameras?
Huh?
Film cameras?
Yeah. There's like a word, but I'm not gonna. I'll say it afterward. But that's, like it's just a word for saying. And I only hear it in Riverside, but it's just like a word. I'm just like, don't use that word. Just use film. It's film. It's film. You know,
Yeah.
like it's fucking film. It's not digital.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I've been fucking around with like.
You
this.
wouldn't want to mess with digital.
Oh, definitely. I think digital is like the way to go.
Yeah.
If you want to be like taking like make like taking some beautiful pictures. Like I even have my eye on some cameras that are like, dude, there's like a fucking $10,000 camera out there that I want so bad, but I can't afford it.
$10,000, that's chump change, homie.
And like, but I mean, before I even get there, before I even get to the point where I can afford it, I definitely want to put like my training wheels on, which is why I'm fucking with this like SLR cameras, and just going step by step. Cause like the one I'm fucking with right now, it's basic as fuck. It's just a point and shoot, but it has enough tools on it for me to figure out how to dissect the mechanics of what a SLR camera has to offer.
Yeah.
You know, shutter speed, you know, apertures and focal points and depth of fields, measurements of how like the lenses works, you know, like how the zoom works manually, like shit like that. I'm learning all that right now.
Yeah.
But luckily that camera's a really good training camera. There's even a fucking light meter inside of it. Like when you put your eye in it, it's a fucking light meter.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which like helps you. It's like a training wheel for exposure.
Yeah.
You know.
That's tight.
Which is like awesome.
Yeah.
That's why like, dude, it's like if anyone out there is like trying to get into film, dude, get that fucking camera, dude. It's such a good training wheel. But I mean, I'm getting more used to it. Like I'm dissecting the fuck out of it on YouTube and just like researching the fuck out of it. That way, I can move on to my more complicated like SLR film cameras.
Yeah.
And then eventually I want to get to the point where it's like I can start getting that $500 film camera and fuck with that, and I don't have to be like, looks beautiful, but I can make it more beautiful with my skills, you know. I want to get to that point.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, digital is definitely where I want to end up because I mean, film's beautiful and it's aesthetically pleasing, you know, but you can only go so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But both digital, it's like, dude, like the pictures I seen with like some digital cameras, like especially with like live shows, I'm like, ooh, damn.
Yeah.
There's no way film could do that.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Like so beautiful, you know. So I definitely want to get to that point, but yeah, I like to answer your question. Yeah, I'm getting more creative on my end because I'm also working from home and like man, like I'm home every day all day now, so I'm trying to get myself a little more out there.
Yeah.
So I can be like, not just wasting my life away.
Yeah.
I mean, I got important shit in my life right now, but it's like, I also want something that I can be like, hey, I know how to do this.
Yeah. No,
and
I get it.
And it's artistically pleasing, you know.
That's tight, man.
Yeah.
What about you, Eddie? Anything creative going on?
Yeah, I started filming some stuff. I kind of want it to be one of those things where like I don't want to promote it too much. I kind of just want it to be like a word of mouth type of thing. If it reaches you, it reaches you. If not, it's not. Kind of like Birdie, like I'm doing the same thing where like I'm so fucking picky. Like I hate so much. Like I always get like those like on my explore page I get like random oh, this photographer, you know, pops up, like people you may know, and it's like it's such shit photography. It's everything's just over color corrected, and it's mostly digital stuff that I just do not like. Which is like if I was to be like if I wanted to get into photography, I would totally get a digital camera. But like people just they overdo it with the colors, and it just looks fake and it just looks stupid. And unfortunately, that's what people like, and I just don't know what's so pleasing about it. Like it looks horrible. Even today, like the same thing. It was on People You May Know, and there was some guy who does videos. He records like bands and like he does like a lot of short stuff. And I was just looking at his edits and I'm like, just like it looks so fake. Like like you can tell he's trying to do his own style, but he adds like these filters to his videos to try to make it look like it was old, but it just comes off as like really like cheesy and corny. And I'm just like, and I was reading the content, people were digging it. I'm like, man, this is so whack. And you have such a nice, you have such a nice camera.
Yeah.
And people always like, oh, why do you shoot with an iPhone? There's this page I follow. It's called Moment, and they they're photographers and video makers, and I started following them like 5-6 years ago when they were first starting out, like, and now they've gotten so big, but when they first started coming out, they made photography like for mobile phones, and I thought it was cool because like these guys, they just reminded me of myself so much. They would just go out and just shoot with their phones, like their friends skating or whatever, and they would not over edit their videos. It was just like they would add a few things. They'll color correct it. They'll add like, they'll stitch it together, but it was not overly fucking like complicated, like not to a point where it's like so dense it just kind of ruins it. And I was like, you know what? If I can pull off shots and things that look fucking cool on an iPhone, imagine what happens when I get a fucking like nice fucking weapon to shoot with, like a nice camera.
Yeah.
Like I want to fucking excel in that shit. And that's why I was like, okay, I want to give myself, like I said, at least another year where I'm shooting with my fucking phone, enough to, because these phones could do pretty much everything a camera could do now. Yeah. You cannot make an iPhone look like a camera, but it has everything there. It has all the tools. It has, the frame rates, the whatever you want to shoot in, the aspect ratios, all that stuff. It's the same as a camera, but it's just on your iPhone.
Yeah.
So like I said, like if I can get fucking good at using my phone to shoot scenes that I want to shoot, like when I do get a camera, like I'm gonna know my shit already. And it's so challenging to use a phone for that. But that's what's pushing me, dude. So that's like when people ask me, oh, why do you shoot with the phone? Like, why don't you just get a camera? I could afford a camera. I can get a good camera. I just don't want to yet. Like, I want to fucking put myself through the punishment of using a fucking phone. Yeah, get it, you're rich. But no, like I really want to make myself suffer a little bit by using it. Like, and like I said,
that's why like you always want to find a good place to start, dude.
Yeah.
Which is like same thing. That fucking camera, dude. It's just
it might not be the right thing to do because, like I said, like I am putting myself through a lot of torture using this.
Yeah.
Like, cause if I get a good camera, I can get the look I want immediately. But like I said, like if I practice with this and I get like shots that are close enough to what I want, then when I do get a camera, like it'll excel me that much further. So that's what. But right now, like I am filming some stuff, and I will eventually post it on my page, and then I'm still kind of debating if I'm gonna end up sticking it anywhere else, another website or anything like that, another app or whatever. But I'll keep everyone updated on that.
Okay.
Something to look forward to. There's a couple things. Planned up my sleeve.
Hey, that's what's up, homie.
Yeah.
Being creative, homie. It's fun. It's tight.
Always keeps me from killing myself. So.
Damn.
Same.
And on that note, I want to thank everybody for sticking around. If you're still here with us at the end of this episode.
This is a long one, dude.
This is a long one, but you know what? We didn't put one out last week.
Yeah.
So this will act as like a double, I guess. For people who didn't get one last weekend, we're fiending for some Betamax material.
And we got one line. Oh, you guys got one lined up for next week too. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see that guy actually.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. But like I said, thank you guys for sticking around. Follow us on our social media to get updates on what we're doing, each of us.
I don't have social media.
Well, I mean the Betamax social media. I'm promoting you, homie. At Betamax ULTD and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. Just search Betamax. And we'll see you guys next time. Later.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep flowing, keep moving steady.